I'm Van.
I'm Sori.
That's...
Harry.
I gotta get near you, buddy.
Yep.
This is unacceptable. This is unacceptable.
Well, Chip is here.
Okay.
Chip's right there with him.
Update on our Marine, who we've all been helping out on GoFundMe. He's got his phone, so he's got his job interview set up, and then a local church adopted him, so he's getting free counseling.
Yeah.
So the big homie's on his way.
Yeah, he is.
I'm pretty cool.
Shout out to the village for helping out.
Yeah, that's legit. Speaking of GoFundMe, we have a GoFundMe.
We do.
Account. I'm not really gonna talk about it much here. I will say though, I wanted to clarify something because somebody said, blah 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 handout, blah 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 handout.
Well, just in case people didn't see the announcement video that we did, we are pregnant. So
we are pregnant.
We now have a fifth child on the way, and we still live in a small apartment. So we have kids in the living room right now. So we're hoping to be able to move to a house. So we started a GoFundMe to try to get a house.
I mean, to be honest with you, I personally don't care about the house. I grew up in the hood. We slept in the living room. I don't really see what the problem is. However, it is important to me that financially that we're okay, and so I have two options. I can basically take on, I can go crazy at the current job that I'm working on, in which case obviously we wouldn't do the channel, or we could do the channel and all that good jazz, and we've always talked about, going full-time with the channel. But I do want to clarify something. We're not asking anyone for a handout. The fact of the matter is we provide 8 hours of content a week, not including the 2 a day, plus 2 firesides, which last for about 2 or 3 hours. Mm-hmm. That has been viewed over 11 million times.
Right.
And so 20 years ago, if you had an entertainment source like that, you were paying for it exclusively like cable. So we're not asking anybody for a handout. This is anybody who's ever managed a YouTube channel of any sort of significant growth knows that it's work. Yeah. And there's a reason that the majority of YouTubers do not put out content at the clip that we do. And it's because it is work. And if you want to maintain a certain level of quality and consistency, a lot of folks can't do that. Mm-hmm. So no, nobody's asking anybody for a handout. We're talking about it exchanging goods for services. Now, of course, if the majority of our constituency feels like it's not worth $1, things like that, I don't think that makes them bad people. Right. I think that YouTube has literally millions of creators. Mm-hmm. And so if your perspective is that we're one of millions of other creators, then I don't see the point in supporting a particular channel. Mm-hmm. But if a channel is unique to you and you spend anywhere between 15 and 20 minutes a day on it, mm-hmm. Then and you wouldn't want to see it go away, then that's a different perspective, right? Right. So, that's the long and the short of it. Mm-hmm. Conversely, though, on the other hand, because I'm not the capitalist here, anybody that does support the channel monetarily, we appreciate in spades, obviously. And if you're in a situation where you have the mindset that you would, but you can't because you have your own family to take care of, and I think the baby thing is contagious.
What do you mean?
We've got like 3 or 4 people in the channel that are either pregnant, just had a kid.
Just had one, yeah.
We had a guy that we were talking to, and he was like in the hospital while he was watching a live stream. We completely understand, appreciate that, and we've said it before. Make sure that your families. Somebody had a pretty hefty donation in Super Chat yesterday, and I was like, man, clear that with your girl before that goes through. So we've always said that if your attitude is we would if we could, we'd give $1 or whatever, mm-hmm. but the financial situation is crazy. Obviously, we love you, and people have contributed in other ways. It's not just monetarily. We were talking about yesterday where you had people that were helping us out with thumbnails. The last 20 thumbnails have been through Bricktown Media. Right. New introductions. Carmen helping us out, Pony helping us out with the podcast. Peter. So if you want to help us, get to our goal of being full time, there's lots of ways to help us, not just financially. But I did want to clarify that financial remuneration is not charity, at least for this channel. Now, we do engage in charity. And we're going to continue to engage in charity because as a community, that's something that's a value for all of us across the board.
Right.
Christian, Satanist, atheist.
Right.
Across the board, everybody's kind of, we've agreed as a people that we're going to constantly give to charity. And that's something that is always going to be a staple. So we're helping out our Marine friend right now. And eventually we're going to have something more systematic. But I just wanted to drop that word to our sponsors. Okay. Unleash the Archers, or our non-sponsors. Our very opinionated non-sponsors. Unleash the Archers, Awakening. So Unleash the Archers is, we've got a very interesting relationship with this band. This is kind of like in Vin and Sori lore, this has been a very interesting group for us. So it's up by popular demand, and this demonstrates that it's the will of the people. Not our favorite band at the time, but the people have spoken,
right?
And so
we shall answer.
We shall answer. This is a live performance too. I'm hoping it shall. Yeah, well, it's kind of like a in studio session.
Yeah.
I am hoping it doesn't get blocked. We've had terrible luck with videos getting blocked.
The last few days it's been.
But the Ginger Pisces video was basically a version of this, and it never got blocked. So inshallah, we can make it happen.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Unleash the Archers, Awakening, let's do it.
Go. think?
I mean, they're all very talented.
Yeah.
They're like at the apex of talent. That's for sure.
Yeah. But
Metal Elitist talks about like passion in the music or whatever. And it's like, how the hell do you measure that? But I don't know. Like the first half of the video, they're sitting there chilling, and it's like it's not what I'm used to as far as seeing metal. Like I see, most of the time these musicians are more affected by their music than the fans are.
Yeah.
They just genuinely enjoy that shit.
You can feel the energy. Even you're not even at a live show, and you can feel the energy.
Yeah, and it's just a, it's very well produced. I think when we first heard them, we had just like got introduced to black metal, and black metal was kind of like grimy, but like you listen to a Megwa or a Batushka, definitely nowhere near the production value that you see here. But there just seemed to be just a level of like conviction in the music.
Yeah.
And so it's like super technically gifted. The girl could sing her ass off.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in a second. It's just for me, there's a separation between how I feel about the music and the band and, rating the music and the lyrics and what they were trying to actually do.
Yeah.
For me, this is not a band for me. I don't like this band.
No.
I don't, and I don't have a power. I'm assuming this is power metal. But Iced Earth was power metal. Iced Earth, the one that did Dante's Inferno?
Yeah.
They were power metal.
Yeah.
And they were very technical, but there just seemed to be a lot of, energy and love for the metal.
Yeah.
But these guys are obviously very, very technically gifted. I don't know, man. I'm just not feeling the passion for the music and people being affected by the music. But I will say, like, I want to see this girl pull those vocals off live, because this was like an in studio type of session. But I'm not. I want to see this like on a stage, like her hit that shit like at that level, which I'm sure she probably can.
Yeah.
Because everybody that has recommended this band has like singled her out and said this girl can sing. And she obviously can sing.
She can.
And they obviously can play. Like, they can play their asses off.
I know, the guitarist, I was like, wow, he's good. I just don't...
It just didn't move me. It didn't move me as a...
It was boring to me. Like...
See, Epica was technical and stuff.
Yeah.
But there was just this...
Yeah.
You could see they loved the music.
I don't know. Yeah, the guy would scratch his face before they started. I'm like, why would you put that in there?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like this is natural. This is us in our natural habitat.
Well, when he was tweaking the drum and stuff, I thought that was cool.
That's real shit.
But then he was He was scratching his face. I thought that was.
Yeah, I just it's like.
I feel like my brother and his buddies would have.
This is a sitting down playing, and it's like we want to hit exactly every note exactly on time, which is great. Excellence is important, but I just didn't feel like what we felt. Remember, I said this is just way overproduced and whatever, and it was just I can't continue this. Like what we felt is like what I saw in the video.
Yeah.
I saw like we're gonna be technical and sit down, make sure I hit all my notes. And then at the very, very end, they were kind of rocking, but I was like, So that's why they're just not a band for me. But as far as like, are they gifted technically? Yes.
Yeah, some stuff that's metal, it surprises me that metal people like it.
Well, this is power metal.
Yeah.
Like, very, very high vocals.
Yeah.
And kind of like broad, giant topics, not regular, like, almost fantastical, I think, is what power metal is to some degree.
Like, I've been surprised that within metal, like, there's, like opera singing. That surprised me. I had no idea that was going to be a subgenre within...
Yeah.
Yeah, that surprised me.
But they pull that shit off like nobody...
No, they do. Yeah. They do. But it still surprised me. But this one really, I'm not a fan of it at all.
But okay, so this seems to be like a fantasy type of story.
Okay.
Like, it might be a concept record. Because it starts with Awakening, and it ends with Apex, but lyrically it's, you look up in the night sky to see the stars have changed, to know 1,000 years or more have passed, and I am the same. This mountain hollow that keeps me in a suffocating embrace, a prison and a safe haven that's always been this way. So it's like this sort of supernatural being who is trapped in this mountain, but then he gets brought out to go do something in the world. See what I'm saying?
A new master calls me.
Right, with the stellar constellations rise, so like his freedom from this, in fantasy stories it's like certain stars have to be aligned, and then the thing is, there's like a small window where the thing gets opened, and then boom, you get it. So it's like, I think it's one of those things, and then there's this bad guy. I don't know if he's a bad guy, but the vocalist does kind of like a deep, like right here when he says, I don't know. But the guy is doing the death vocal. He's doing death vocals, and it's kind of like,
So interesting. I never even heard that part.
He was playing the role of the Dark Master or whatever it is. So he's.
That's how he starts with a whispering that manifests to a scream. Ugh.
Where? Yeah. So there's. A new master calls me to awakening. See, a new master. So I'm assuming that he's some sort of like divine character being, but it gets controlled by something, and then he got, put into this mountain for 1,000 years.
Yep.
He's safe in the mountain, but it's also a prison. And then a new master calls him and awakens him because the stars have aligned perfectly. Yeah. Far out beyond the darkness I've been living in, it's true, a whole new world awaits. Obviously, he's been there for 1,000 years. And then the stellar constellations rise, once again revitalized to roam, never to die. A voice is calling my name. It always starts as whispers, manifests to a screen. I'm drawn to the creature that wakes me, bound to them by the curse. My soul exists only to serve a covenant of birth. So, basically, this guy's parents
from his birth, he was
committed him to this ruling class of things that get to own him every 1,000 years, I'm assuming. Jesus. And then fear not the task ahead. There's no escaping it. There's no good or evil here. Like, you just follow your orders, and there it is, right there. Come to me, awakening. Follow my voice. Come to me. Yeah, he was doing like the death vocals there. Yeah. And then the solo was like in that part, and then she went back to singing at the end. So it's like. It's setting up like this fantasy sort of Terry Goodkind, Lord of the Rings type world, and the initial "He's Awakening" obviously is the name of the record of the first song, and I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah, and even the story to me is not that.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, sometimes, like, I'll be like, I don't really like this song, but then as you dig into the lyrics, I'm like, oh, okay, but the lyrics, man. But this...
But it's interesting that a lot of fantasy stories have sort of there's, like, the recurrent concept of, like, this curse that needs to be broken, and the protagonist has to go out and find his way to redeem the world or redeem himself. And I've always said, and then there's a covenant of birth and things like that. I've always said that there's only 2 or 3 stories in the world that all tell the same thing, because from a biblical perspective, there is a curse that's binding the planet, and there is, we are waiting on somebody to undo the curse and all the rest of it. Yep. It's like, and it depends on how you look at the world. People look at it and they go, this is a fantasy story, your Bible, it's like the Lord of the Rings, da-da-da. And it's like, if you're looking at it from the perspective of like, the Lord of the Rings, and then informs your view of the Bible, then I can see that. But then, like, what if it was the other way around? What if there was a true original story, and then all these other stories are echoes of the true original story? And like, don't we find it strange that no matter what story we tell, we're always telling essentially the same story? Because even like, if you look at
it has to be an original.
If you look at like a movie like The Matrix, right, where it's kind of a similar theme, like there's an overarching curse that's going on humanity. Somebody needs to free humanity. There's going to be a cost. There's a great cost, and there's a bad guy, and all the rest. Like, it's always kind of telling variations of the same story. So, I think I'm not as down on the story as you are. I think that the story is probably I think it's probably extremely. You have to be a really talented person, I think, to be able to tell a story like this in music form and have it be coherent and have it actually like be a song. Because this was an actual song. This is an actual like standalone song in and of itself, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it takes a lot of talent. Now, if they pull that, like I said, I don't like the song. I don't like the overarching whatever. But I do think that it took a lot of talent to be able to tell a story like this and have it be an actual song at the same time. I think some people are good at A or B. Like I'm writing a story eventually, inshallah, I'll get back to it. I think A or B, like you either are good at writing stories or you're good at writing songs, but like to write a fantasy story in the context of a song, I think takes a lot of talent.
Could you do it, you think?
No way.
What?
Because you know why?
What?
My penchant for details and character development is like it would be impossible.
Yeah.
It would be impossible.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, like there's some things that translate really good
Yep.
in just plain literature that are very difficult in song. But they were able to. You can pretty much you can cold read this and pretty much know what's going on. But it's still a song. Still a constant. You know. So, you know, I think that's extremely difficult, and they did a really good job with it.
What do you give it?
It's an 8.5.
Oh my gosh.
The metal was the music. Okay, was the musicianship exceptional? Were they good musicians?
Yeah, they were good.
Was it a simple, complex riff, or was it?
No, it seemed good.
Okay. Can she sing?
Yep.
Okay. Are the lyrics dumb?
Yeah, I don't really like the lyrics.
Well, are they dumb? Does it sound like a 5-year-old wrote it?
No.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't feel the soul.
No, that's why I'm giving it a 6.
Because what?
Because it's not like average. I see that they did, but I just can't give it. It didn't stir me at all. And music should draw emotion from you. Like
I know.
I don't understand how you can create art in music and it doesn't. But it might be. There are certain forms of music that don't stir me at all, and they stir other people, you know?
Right.
And there's songs that I
This is
love
our
and move
opinion.
me, and you don't like them, so I'm sure somebody is moved by this, but
Well,
I can't give it a high score.
A lot
if
of
I'm
people
not
are moved
it.
by this. This was
Right,
very, very popular. They forced their way through on this.
right.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
I can't give it over a 6.
I'm separating my feelings on the song itself and the soul of the music, which is entirely subjective, from the fact that, you know, they hit on pretty much every phase of what makes a good song a good song. Is this a song that you put in the
vault?
in the vault and then
No.
open it 100 years later and say this is a human experience? No. Is it like and Ronnie James Dio has a couple songs that are like fantastical that are not directly related to the human experience, but are just amazing because of it's just different. I don't know, when Ronnie sings, it's just a lot of but I mean he's a legend. I'm just saying, like, there's room in my mind for power metal or fantastical ideas in metal or whatever. It's just this one. It's an 8.5 for me, just based on the cold.
That's good, 8.5.
I'm just based on the cold measurement. This is a mental 8.5. It's not an emotional one. I'm just looking at everything separately and saying, okay, it's undeniable that these guys
I'm
are
not doing that
super
because
talented.
this is a reaction channel, so I'm reacting, and I'm not just
Right.
going to go like without emotion. Emotion is part of my scoring. So.
Yeah, and it's not completely left out either because I didn't give them a 10, so there you are. All right, y'all. There you go. Unleash the Archers. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.